Hello students, welcome to the 7th tutorial class on analog communication, and this class will be presented by myself, Dr. Shruti Mondol, Assistant Professor of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering from Jalpaiguri Government Engineering College. Now let's go through the content of this class. In this class we shall discuss another type of AM, which is known as the vestigial sideband or VSB. We shall discuss the modulation and demodulation technique of the VSB, and after that we shall observe the application of the VSB in the TV signal. Next, we will discuss different type of receiver like tunable receiver, super heterodyne receiver, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of these type of receiver. And after that we shall get an overview of the different parameter associated with the receiving section like selectivity, sensitivity, and fidelity. And lastly, we shall discuss about the image frequency, which is observed and solved by the super heterodyne receiver as well. So coming to the first topic, that is the VSB. So this is basically another type of AM, and the full form of VSB is the vestigial sideband. Okay, and vestigial, that means the gradual decreasing, okay, or gradual. So the name, from the name, the shape of the sideband can be decided. That means in case of VSB, the sideband is gradually decreasing. We already studied DSB and SSB type of AM signal. In case of DSB, the advantages is the simplicity and easiness for the implementation. However, the main disadvantages of DSB is the large bandwidth requirement, which is 2 omega m. On the other hand, in case of SSB, though the bandwidth requirement is lower, which is omega m, but designing of SSB transmitter and receiver is difficult and costly, because designing of the respective filter in case of SSB is very difficult. Okay, so all these disadvantages of DSB and SSB are overcome by VSB. So in case of VSB, what we have done, we are transmitting either one of the sideband completely, like either USB or LSB. We are transmitting it completely, and other sideband is vestigial in nature. That means we are transmitting the other sideband partially. Okay, so what is the vestigial in nature? That means the sideband is gradually decreasing, and for this purpose, the designing of the respective filter become very easy. Okay, and the bandwidth requirement for the VSB is remained in between omega m and 2 omega m. So let's see the shape of the VSB or the spectrum of the VSB. So this is basically the frequency domain representation of x omega. Okay, now in case of VSB, you can see that one of the sideband, that is USB, is fully transmitted. So this part denote the USB from omega c to omega c plus omega m, whereas the LSB part is not transmitted completely or suppressed completely. Instead of it, we can see that the sideband is gradually decreasing, and it extend up to omega c minus omega v. Okay, so we call it as vestige sideband. Similarly, in the negative side, we can also see the similar approach. Okay, so this one denote the Vistized sideband. That means it gradually decreasing from the half of x 0 to 0 value. Okay, so you can see that the bandwidth will be Fm plus Fv, which is in between 2 omega m and omega m. Okay, so this is the advantage of VSB. Why? Because its bandwidth requirement is less than DSB but greater than SSB. However, the designing of this kind of filter to suppress the sideband is very easy. So that's why VSB is very useful. Okay, so these are the advantages of VSB. Now, the time domain description of VSB signal can be given by St VSB equal to xt cos omega ct minus xqt sin omega ct, whereas xqt is the vestige message signal. Okay, you can see that this expression is quite similar to the expression of the SSB. Instead of XHT, here we are using XQT, and XQT denote the vestige sideband or vestige message signal. Okay, so this one is the spectrum of the VSB we already have discussed. Now coming to the generation of VSB. So how can we generate the VSB? It is quite similar simple approach. So we need to use the product modulator, okay, and the local generated carrier which generate the A cos omega ct, and one of the input of the product modulator is the modulating signal, that is the xt, and another input of the product modulator is A cos omega ct. So output of the product modulator is nothing but a DSB signal. Now this DSB signal should pass through a sideband filter and whose transfer function is given by hi omega. Now the transfer function of this sideband filter is designed such that the shape of the spectrum will be vestige in nature. Okay, so the transfer function of the sideband filter is very crucial for us so that we can get the vestige nature of sideband. So uh, the sideband filter helps to cut one of the sideband in vestigial way. Okay, so this one is the block diagram of the VSB generation. You can see that product modulator, local generated carrier, and this one is the sideband filter. Okay, now the expression of the frequency domain representation or the Fourier transform of the VSB signal, that is given by S omega VSB, can be written as Fourier transform of XTCT. That means this one. So CT is the carrier signal. Okay, so which is nothing but A cos omega CT. So Fourier transform of XTCT multiplied by Hi into omega. Why do we multiply it? Because it is passed through the sideband filter and its transfer function is given by Hi omega. So input multiplied by transfer function is nothing but ultimate VSB signal. Okay, so now Fourier transform of XTCT, that means DSB signal, is nothing but half into x omega plus omega c plus half x omega minus omega c Hi omega. Okay, so you can see that spectrum is obviously shifted to the omega plus minus omega c, but one sideband is vestige in nature. That is the difference. Now demodulation. So in case of demodulation of VSB, we need to use the synchronous detection approach. So that means we generate the carrier signal at the receiver end. So you can see that this one is the the modulator or multiplier. So in this one is the incoming VSB signal, and it is multiplied by the locally generated carrier, which is nothing but 2 cos omega ct. And after that, the generated output of the multiplier is passing through a low pass filter whose transfer function is given by Ho omega, and ultimately we get the modulating signal. So let's see the mathematical analysis of this demodulation part. So the output of the multiplier is nothing but Et, if we denote it by Et. So St VSB multiplied by 2 cos omega ct. Okay, so the Fourier transform of Et is given by capital E omega equal to S VSB omega plus omega c. As we know, if we multiply any signal with respect to cos omega ct, and the Fourier transform will be the shifted version of the original spectrum. So the original spectrum will be shifted by omega plus omega c and SVSB omega minus omega c. Clear? Okay. So let us consider that HO omega is the transfer function of the low pass filter or output filter. Okay. So obviously you can write that the X omega, as we already told, that output of this low pass filter is the modulating signal. So you can write the output frequency domain or Fourier transform of the output signal is X omega. So X omega is nothing but the output of the multiplied by transfer function of the output filter. So S VSB omega plus omega c plus S VSB omega minus omega c multiplied by HO omega. Now just substitute this S VSB into the earlier equation. This one, half x omega plus omega c, half x omega minus omega c into Hi omega. So just we substitute them, so you can get this type of equation: x omega plus 2 omega c multiplied by Hi omega plus omega c, and x omega minus 2 omega c multiplied by Hi into Hi omega minus omega c multiplied by Ho omega. Okay, so Hi is the transfer function of the bandpass filter which is used during the generation of the VSB, and Ho omega is the transfer function of the low pass filter that is used in the receiver end, okay, or for detection purpose. So you can see that if you observe this equation, x omega plus 2 omega, see this one, this part contain the higher frequency component, and similarly this one is also consist of higher frequency component, okay, because the spectrum is shifted up to the plus minus 2 omega c. Okay, so as we are using low pass filter, we are which is able to pass only low frequency signal, where x omega denote the modulating signal or low frequency signal. So obviously due to the presence of this transfer function, we are only getting the term which is associated with the x omega only. So x omega into Hi uh, omega plus omega c, and plus Hi omega minus omega c into x omega we get it, and this one is multiplied by H omega. So if we take x omega common, so we get x omega equal to x omega into Hi omega plus omega c plus Hi omega minus omega c into Ho omega. So we can get, so we can cancel x omega from the both side. So ultimately we get H omega equal to 1 by Hi omega plus omega c plus Hi omega minus omega c. So you can see that this one is the relationship between the um, sideband filter and the low pass filter for the VSB generation. Clear? So this one is the relationship between the filter of receiver and transmitter. Now application of VSB in real life. Basically, VSB can be used during the television broadcasting signal. Okay, now a TV signal consists of two parts. One is the audio spectrum and there is a video spectrum. So audio spectrum is modulated by FM. Okay, now the details analysis of the FM will be discussed in the upcoming classes. So right now just remember that in case of TV signal, the audio part is modulated with the FM, because FM, the quality of the sound or quality of the audio in case of FM is better than AM signal. So that's why you are prefer FM for the audio spectrum. However, uh, let's coming to the video spectrum. Now the video spectrum is modulated by BSV signal. Okay, so if you observe the video signal, it originally the bandwidth of the video signal is 4.5 megahertz. Now if we make the DSB modulation, so the for that purpose TV signal required an enormous bandwidth like which is 9.5 megahertz. That is the inefficient procedure. Okay, so that's why we preferred VSB signal, where one sideband, that is upper sideband, is completely transmitted. You can see that here, and another part is transmitted partially, which is gradually decreasing. Okay, so that is the vestige part. Okay, so LSB is gradually vestige between FC and FC minus 1.25. Okay, So the total bandwidth in case of VSB is 6 megahertz. Okay, so we have we able to we able to use only 6 megahertz spectrum. Okay, whereas in case of DSB signal we need 9 megahertz spectrum. Okay, so that's why BSB is preferable in case of TV signal. Okay, so because BSB signal has also sizable power at low frequency also. So you can see that this one is the spectrum. This part denote the audio spectrum. Audio spectrum is FM modulated, and the respective frequency is FC plus 4.5. Okay, and here you can see that VSB, that is for the video signal. So video signal is used. Video signal is modulated with the VSB signal, and it is extended up to the FC minus 1.25, and its bandwidth is 6 megahertz only. So we able to reduce the usable bandwidth for the VSB signal. So that is the advantages of VSB. So you can see that advantages of VSB we already discussed, that reduction of bandwidth and easy of designing the sideband filter due to the vestige nature of wave. Okay, and for the same purpose the cost of the designing procedure become very low, and moreover good phase characteristic and makes low frequency component transmission in case of VSB. Okay, so that's all for the VSB. Now coming to the another important topic, that is the AM radio receiver. So we already know the different demodulation technique to detect or to extract the original modulated signal from the modulated wave. Now, a transmitter just transmit the modulated wave, amplified and modulated wave by antenna. Now, it is quite possible that different type of transmitter or different user transmit different type of signal with different carrier frequency. That means in the receiver section, when we are using an antenna, different frequency will be available to us. Okay, so what will be the main function at the receiver end? So first of all, we need to interrupt the incoming modulated signal. That function can be performed by the respective antenna. Antenna is tuned up in up to a certain frequency range. Okay, and he will accept a certain frequency through that antenna. Okay, so we need to interrupt the incoming modulated signal, and all these modulated signals consist of different carrier frequency or different modulated signal. It may be AM, FM, and all the frequency are available to us. Like if we consider the FM signal, like 99 98.3 megahertz FM, 93.5 FM, all the signals are reach to us. But if but what do we want to do? We want to extract, or we want to tune a particular frequency, or we want to listen a particular frequency channel. Okay, so first function will be the interrupt the incoming modulated signal. Okay, next, which is very important, select the desired signal frequency and reject the unwanted signal, like 98.3 or 93.5 megahertz. So we need to tune at that frequency. Okay, so so we need to select particular that frequency so that others unwanted frequency can be suppressed. So that is the another function that should be also performed by the receiver end. And during the transmission, all the signal become noisy and attenuated. Okay, so whenever we receive the respective signal, we need to amplify the selected RF or radio frequency, and after the amplification, then we can perform the demodulation. Until unless we do not able to amplify the signal, the demodulation cannot be performed efficiently. So after the amplification, demodulation is performed, and after that again we need to perform another level of amplification so that we can uh, hear the voice signal or the audio signal. Okay, so all these functions should be performed by the radio receiver. First of all, the interrupt the incoming modulated signal, select the desired radio frequency, amplify the selected RF, demodulation, and amplify the obtained baseband signal. Okay, so all these are these crucial functions of the radio receiver. Now, in if we consider the AM radio receiver, there are two type of receiver are very popular. One is TRF receiver, another is super heterodyne receiver. TRF receiver is a very earlier approach. It is not used in in present era. However, let's see the TRF receiver, which is T-novel radio frequency receiver. It is very simple and old type of receiver technique, and it consists of a receiving antenna, RF stage amplifier, demodulator, and audio amplifier, and after that loudspeaker. So receiving antenna, it interrupt the modulated signal, and this one is the RF stage amplifier. The RF stage amplifier means this amplifier operate in particular frequency and it able to amplify the incoming signal. So the performance, the function of this RF stage amplifier is very crucial. Okay, it is used to tune at a particular frequency. So that's why we are use the term tunable radio frequency. Okay, so suppose we are want to get the 98.3 megahertz. Okay, so in that scenario, we need to design the RF stage amplifier such that it can operate its operating frequency become 98.3, and and all the others frequency can be suppressed then. Okay, so RF stage amplifier basically is responsible for select a particular frequency range and able to amplify also. So this is very crucial part. Now the demodulator, after that we already know the demodulation part. That means we get able to baseband signal from the modulated wave, and after that the original message signal is again amplified so that we can get the output from the loudspeaker. So this is the block diagram of TRF receiver. But the main problem of the TRF receiver is that the RF amplifier has tendency to oscillate at the higher frequency. When if the output leaked and the positive feedback to the RF stage amplifier via different coupling, so it will be oscillated. Okay, moreover, if you want to select different frequency range, that means we need to change the structure of the RF stage amplifier somehow. Okay, that means and its selectivity is poor. What is selectivity? The selectivity is a property of the receiver to select a particular frequency. Okay, but its selectivity is very poor because suppose normally RF stage amplifier has the bandwidth of 10 kilohertz. Okay, so in between those spectrum all the signal will be accepted, and it is quite possible there are two modulated wave in between that spectrum or in between that bandwidth. So selectivity is only provided by the RF stage amplifier. That's why you call it the selectivity is poor. A low Q factor. What is Q factor? Q factor is this will be I think explained by explained in the upcoming slide. However, the Q factor is the resonant frequency by the bandwidth, that is FR by delta F. So in case of just remember that in case of TRF receiver, that Q factor is low. It is expected that Q factor is it should be large as much as possible, and the bandwidth varies according to the modulated wave. Okay, so it is the all these are problem which are observed in case of tunable radio frequency receiver. Now coming to the next type of receiver, that is known as the super heterodyne receiver. The different drawbacks of the TRF receiver is overcome by the super heterodyne receiver. Now that there is term heterodyne, so hetero means different, and dynes means such a dynes means mixing. So that means different signal is mixed here, is mixed here. So super heterodyne receiver in what is happening here. So you can see that this is the block diagram of the super heterodyne receiver. So as the tunable, similar to the tunable radio frequency TRF receiver, there is antenna, RF stage amplifier, demodulator, audio amplifier. Okay, and apart from the RF stage amplifier, you can see that there are three another blocks. One is mixer, one is local oscillator, another is IF amplifier. Okay, so what is happening here? You can see that local oscillator generate a particular frequency, that suppose that is FO. Okay, and the incoming frequency that is selected by the RF stage amplifier, which is FS. Okay, so RF stage amplifier obviously is used to select a particular frequency. So suppose that is FS. Okay, now the output of the local oscillator and the RF stage amplifier is going to the mixer. Okay, now mixer can be the output of the mixer will be Fi, which is given by Fo minus Fs. Now Fi is known as the intermediate frequency. If stand for intermediate frequency. Okay, now in you can see that there is another block that is known as the IF amplifier. So it consists of another amplifier that amplify the intermediate frequency or IF. It is quite interesting to note that observe that all these amplifier like RF stage amplifier, local oscillator, IF amplifier and the mixer all are ganged together or gang tuned. That means we can tune such a way the output of the mixer is always constant. That means value of the intermediate frequency is always constant. Basically, the scientist Armstrong first proposed this type of receiver, and in that case, Armstrong proposed the value of the AM value of the intermediate frequency for the AM is 455 kilohertz. Okay, so value of the Fi is always constant. Remember, for FM receiver, the value of IF is 10.7 megahertz. Okay, so here you can see that the incoming frequency Fi, sorry, intermediate frequency Fi, which is 455 kilohertz, is comparatively low with respect to incoming signal. Okay, and here there is a RF amplifier, IF amplifier, which amplify again the incoming signal, again intermediate frequency. Okay, so so here we can call we can say that the local oscillator frequency is mixed with the incoming signal. Okay, so that's why we use the term heterodyne, but that means different frequency or different signal are mixed together and we are getting the intermediate frequency. Okay, now why do we need to use the intermediate frequency which is low comparative to the incoming signal? Because it is very difficult to design precise and stable band pass or low pass filter if the center frequency is very large. Okay, so that's why initially we need to translate it in lower frequency, which is known as the intermediate frequency. Okay, so all these RF stage, IF amplifier and mixer are ganged, sorry, RF stage, mixer and local oscillator are ganged together, tuned, mechanically tuned. So yeah, it is called as mechanically linked ganged capacitor. Okay, that means we are already said that the value of the intermediate frequency is constant. Okay, so whenever we suppose there is a knob, okay, and all the if we rotate the knob, okay, so the output of the frequency and RF stage amplifier will be changed such that the output of the mixer is always constant, that is Fi equal to 455 kilohertz. Okay, that's why we are calling this as mechanically linked ganged capacitor. Okay, earlier era we are used the mechanically linked ganged era, but nowadays we are using simply varactor diode. Okay, that means if we change the respective rotate the respective knob, the respective voltage across the RF stage amplifier and local oscillator, or there is capacitor varactor diode will be changed, and respective frequency, operating frequency will also be changed. Okay, just right now just remember this point that the for the IF frequency, intermediate frequency is always constant, and the relationship between the incoming signal and the oscillator frequency and Fi is F0 equal to Fs plus Fi. Okay, sorry, Fo. So oscillator frequency equal to incoming signal plus intermediate frequency. Okay, so you can see that Here there is another amplifier section, IF amplifier section, and basically this part consists of different number of or contain number of transformer, each consisting of a pair of mutually coupled tuned circuit. Okay, so that proper amplification can be achieved. And after that, if this signal is going through the demodulator and we get the ultimate baseband signal whose frequency is FM, and it is passing through again audio amplifier and power amplifier, so that we can get the output at the loudspeaker end. Okay, here you can see that the most important part is the IF amplifier section, because you can see that in case of IF amplifier section, there is a large number of transformer that is has been used for the amplification part. Okay, so you can say that the sensitivity for the super heterodyne receiver is very large. So now, what is sensitivity? That will be discussed later. Right now, just remember the term sensitivity. Now, again, and as the frequency is very much constant in case of super heterodyne receiver, okay, so we can say that IF amplifier is practically independent of incoming frequency. As IF is always constant, the characteristic of IF amplifier is independent of incoming frequency. And moreover, as we are getting intermediate frequency, always you can say that its selectivity is better compared to the tunable radio receiver. And moreover, we can moreover the bandwidth requirement for the IF amplifier is very low. Okay, so all these are advantages for super heterodyne receiver. Now, what is sensitivity, what is selectivity, let's discuss. Then after that we shall discuss the advantages of super heterodyne receiver. Now, sensitivity, what is sensitivity? Now, it is written that the ability of amplify weak signal, that is the minimum voltage which must be applied to provide a standard output at the output terminal, that is the sensitivity. That means that means all the signal that is transmitted from the modulator are already attenuated during the transmission of a long distance. Okay, now minimum amount of voltage that should be applied at the demodulator section, so that the demodulator can be performed efficiently. Okay, so that is the sensitivity. Okay, now in case of super heterodyne receiver, there are two types of amplifier is there. One is the RF section amplifier, and that is all the main uh, objective of the RF stage amplifier is one, to select the particular frequency as well as to amplify it, and second stage of amplification is provided by IF amplifier. Okay, so that's why the sensitivity of the super heterodyne receiver is better than TRF receiver. You can see that this one denote the sensitivity versus frequency plot. Okay, where you can see that at different frequency the sensitivity can be changed. Okay, for standard, suppose for standard 400 hertz sine wave with 30% modulation, 15 milliwatt power is required to get the detection properly. Okay, so that is the sensitivity. Now, selectivity. Now, what is the selectivity? As the name suggests, it is the ability to select a particular band. Okay, obviously detector obviously our expectation is that it should select a particular frequency band. Okay, so it is ability to select a particular frequency band, or it is ability to reject others unwanted frequency, or its ability to attenuate the adjacent frequency of tuned receiver, that is the selectivity. Okay, so this is this you can see that this one is a plot between frequency and attenuation. Okay, so you can see that at a certain frequency range, frequency, the attenuation is minimum, and if you move that frequency either in that direction or in this direction, so attenuation is gradually increasing. So here attenuation is maximum, that means here attenuation, we get the maximum power. Okay, so this is called the operating frequency or critical frequency. So in case of FC, you can see that we get the maximum power. So this curve is actually denote the uh, power versus frequency graph. And if this is only the px dB, and this point denote actually pmax minus 3 dB. Okay, so this point actually denotes pmax minus 3 dB point. So in this one actually the 3 dB less point. Okay, and obviously The spectrum in between two 3 dB less point is nothing but the bandwidth, so this one denote the bandwidth. Okay, now the quality factor is defined by fc by bandwidth. It is quite expected that the bandwidth of the respective amplifier or the respective device is very as much as is small as much as possible. So bw should be smaller. So if bw is very small, so obviously q factor should be very large. So it is quite expected that q factor for a particular receiver should be large as much as possible. Okay, so as you are using if amplifier, okay, and where there are two type of amplification is provided by RF stage amplifier as well as the uh, IF amplifier part. And moreover, RF stage amplifier also help to select a particular frequency band. But as we are using the mechanically tuned, mechanically what is called? Yes, mechanically linked ganged capacitor for the mixer, local oscillator, and IF amplifier, or sorry, RF stage amplifier. So the output of the mixer is quite constant, is very much constant. Okay, that means IF, in case of IF amplifier, the selectivity is very high because it is independent of the incoming frequency, because it is already the if a value of the fi is always constant, that is 455 kilohertz. Okay, so it is worth to mention that the sensitivity and selectivity are depend on the IF amplifier. It should be remembered. Now fidelity. What is fidelity? It is another important characteristic of the radio receiver. It is ability to receive to reproduce all modulating signal equally. Okay, high fidelity is essential in order to reproduce good quality music faithfully. Like whenever I'm talking, sometime I'm talking in high frequency, and sometime I'm talking in low frequency. But it is quite expected that a receiver should able to detect all this frequency. That means all this all this frequency spectrum equally. Okay, so in case of super this one is the receiver output versus frequency. You can see that for a good fidelity receiver, you can see that the minimum frequency range 50 hertz and 5 kilohertz. So in between them the output should be remain constant. Okay, where the attenuation is minimum. Okay, so as the you can see that this one is the flat region where the receiver remain constant. Okay, so uh, in case of super heterogeneous receiver, as the output of the IF amplifier is remain constant, so obviously we get a flat range or of a yeah, or we are getting a receiver output constant with a certain frequency range from 50 hertz to 5 kilohertz. Okay, so high fidelity is essential in order to reproduce good quality music faithfully and without introducing any distortion. So for this, receiver output must be flat or kept constant with respect to wide range of audio frequency. This is the basically frequency response of audio frequency amplifier. Okay, now selectivity, sensitivity, and fidelity that is obtained by the, we already told that by the IF amplifier section. Okay, now what is the function of, then what is the main function of RF stage amplifier? RF stage already provides some kind of amplification and some kind of selectivity. Okay, but major selectivity is provided and sensitivity is provided by the IF amplifier. Now we are we are considering another important topic or important problem for the super heterodyne receiver, that is the image frequency. Okay, so what is image frequency? So the relationship between the intermediate frequency and the oscillator frequency is F O equal to Fs plus Fi. So Fi equal to Fo minus Fs. Okay, so so if a signal, consider another frequency Fsi. Okay, whose frequency is summation of Fo plus Fi. That means Fsi equal to Fo plus Fi. Then what is the difference between Fo and Fsi? So that is the FO, and the relations, the difference between FO and FSI equal to FO minus FO minus FI, that is FI also. So here it is the interesting term. So you can see that the difference between FO and FS is also FI, and the difference between is FO and FSI is also FI. So now FI and FSI is called as the image frequency. So what is the image frequency? Because basically it is nothing but an undesired adjacent frequency, undesired adjacent frequency in receiver, in addition with the desired frequency, that can produce same intermediate frequency but the defined modulating signal. Okay. So suppose, so let's coming to a example. Suppose f is equal to 1000 kilohertz, and fi, we already know fi is 455 kilohertz. For that purpose, the frequency of the oscillator should be tuned such that the difference between fs and fi, fo and fs become fi. So fo will be 1455 kilohertz. Okay. So fs is the incoming frequency 1000 kilohertz, and fo equal to 1455 kilohertz. Then the intermediate frequency fi equal to fo minus fs, that is 1455 minus 1000 kilohertz, that is 455 kilohertz. Now consider another scenario. If fsi, if the incoming frequency is 1910, okay, and the oscillator frequency is the same like 1455 kilohertz, then what will be the difference between them? Fi equal to mod of fo minus fs, that is same 1455 minus 1910, that is again 45 kilohertz. Okay. So then, so in that scenario, if amplifier will not able to differentiate between these two signal, two incoming signal, because if amplifier is operated only 455 kilohertz. But if this happen, it will not able to differentiate between fs and fsi. That means 1000 kilohertz and 19 kilohertz is completely two different frequencies. Okay. And respective modulating signal will be also different. Okay. So in that case scenario, if amplifier will not able to differentiate between these two section, and that's why we called this two frequency or this frequency as the image frequency of the original signal. So fsi is the image frequency of fs. Okay. So you can say that fsi equal to fo plus fi, and we already image frequency equal to fo plus fi. Now fsi equal to, we can write down like fs plus fi, already know. So fsi equal to fs plus 2 phi. The relationship between the image frequency and the original frequency is fsi equal to fs plus 2 fi. That means, for if the fi equal to 455 kilohertz, so we can tell that image frequency should be, image frequency should be fs plus 910 kilohertz. Okay. So the station which are separated by the frequency 2 fi, that is the 910 kilohertz, are called the image station. Clear? So here you can see that it is written that therefore the signal with FSI frequency will be selected and demodulated and get the difference unwanted message signal at the output end. Okay. So this frequency FSI is known as the image frequency, which is unwanted frequency but treated as original signal by the IF section, and the IF section cannot distinguish between distinguish these two different signal. Here the role of the RF stage amplifier is very crucial. We all these thing image frequency can be reached if RF section is absent. But when the RF section is present, so RF stage play a important role, or an important role. So where basically the main function of the RF stage amplifier is to suppress the image frequency, because it is already tuned into the, suppose here 1000 kilohertz. So RF stage will not allow 1910 kilohertz, which is very, these two signal are quite the difference between these two signal are very large. So it will not allowed to enter into the mixer section, because the bandwidth for the RF stage amplifier is 10 kilohertz. That means it will able to pass like 990 up to 1010 kilohertz frequency spectrum, but it will not allow to pass the frequency with 1910 kilohertz. Okay. So the major function of RF stage amplifier is to suppress the image frequency. Okay. So it should be remembered that entire selectivity is provided by the IF amplifier and sensitivity also, but the main part of the RF stage amplifier is to suppress the image frequency. Okay, so if you are able to suppress the image frequency, so obviously we can able to reduce the co-channel interference. Okay, so it is very important relationship, that is relationship between the image frequency and the original frequency, fsi equal to fs plus 2 fi. Now we are defining a term, the rejection ratio. The rejection of image frequency may be defined as alpha equal to 1 by sorry, root over 1 plus q square plus rho square. So q equal to fc by bandwidth, and rho that is given by fsi by fs minus fs by fsi. So all these equation can be used for solving numerical problem. Here it is already mentioned here. Suppose for a broadcast super heterodyne AM receiver having no RF amplifier, the bandwidth, uh, observe this, having no RF amplifier. If the RF amplifier is present, so obviously there will be no image frequency. However, it is already mentioned that there is no RF amplifier. The bandwidth of the antenna coupling circuit is 10 kilohertz and tuned into the 1000 kilohertz. Okay, so if the IF is 450 kilohertz, determine the image frequency. So the bandwidth of the antenna kilohertz bandwidth of the antenna coupling circuit is 10 kilohertz. So bandwidth is 10 kilohertz. Tune frequency is 1000. So tune frequency is the 1000. So quality factor is 1000 by 10, that is 100. Okay, and so incoming frequency, what is incoming frequency? That is the tune frequency, so that is 1000 kilohertz. Okay, now if I equal to 450 kilohertz, so what is the image frequency? Image frequency equal to fsi equal to fs plus 2 phi, so 1000 plus 2 into 455, that is 1910 kilohertz. So what is the rejection ratio? That is fsi. First of all, we calculate the rho, fsi by fs minus fs by fsi. So that is 1910 by 1000 divide minus 1000 by 1910, that is 1.386. So now image rejection ratio is alpha equal to root over 1 plus q square plus rho square, that is 138.6. Okay, so that's all. So what we have studied? So we have studied initially the vestigial sideband and its application on TV signal. After that, we are observed the different operation of radio receiver, and we also studied the disadvantage of tunable radio receiver, which where the main disadvantage is the low selectivity and the low selectivity and the bandwidth, changing bandwidth. Okay, however, all the drawback of the tunable receivers, tunable radio frequency receiver, are overcome by super heterodyne receiver, where we achieve better selectivity, better sensitivity, better fidelity, and all these are achieved due to the presence of IF amplifier. And moreover, here the interesting part, here we are translating the incoming frequency into the intermediate frequency, which is lower compared to the incoming frequency fi. The value of the fif is 455 kilohertz. Okay, so we are using basically a mechanically linked ganked capacitor to adjust the value of the output of the mixer as fi, which is always constant. And then we are also study the image frequency, which is nothing but the fs plus 2 fi. And this image frequency is suppressed due to the presence of the RF stage amplifier. So if there is no RF stage amplifier, image frequency should reach to the IF amplifier section, and IF section is not able to differentiate between the original frequency and the image frequency. So that's why the RF stage amplifier plays a crucial role to suppress the image frequency, or to reduce the co-channel interference. Okay, so thank you. If you have any question, please post them.